name's Victore.
Burning questions.
Yeah.
Howdy, I'm James Victore. This is Burning Questions, and I am outstanding in my field. Woo! That's a good one. Okay, today, I want to talk to you about an idea that that I introduced, or I was trying to teach in my last webinar. The webinar called "How to Be Brave and Scared Shitless," and the idea was how to. We have these motivation problems. We have these kind of, and I get in these situations where I'm like, I've got so many things to do, I don't even know where to start. I'm like, I get just frozen. I sit and I look at my list, or I've got a new project I want to roll out, and I'm stumped. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And I forget that that's the hardest thing in the world. It's the hardest thing in the world. To know thyself, right? There's a story. And the story is a young student is trying to impress or trip up an older professor, an older sage. So they're out on a walk, and the young student says, Professor, tell me, what's the hardest thing in the world? And the professor thinks for a second, and he says, to know thyself. And the young student is like, damn. That's a good answer. So he comes back the next day and he tries to trip him up again, and he comes at the professor and he says, Professor, what's the easiest thing in the world? And the professor, without thinking, says, to advise others. So listen, for you and me to understand our path, to trust our voice, to do all these things necessary to get down the road, it's so hard to do for ourselves. We're in the thick of it. We don't see it. And if you're an artist, forget about it, because you've got all that on you, top of you, all the questioning, all the guilt, all the introspection, retrospection that is completely necessary. But it's so hard to do for yourself. So I have an idea that I talk about, and it's called advise others. And I will literally sit down and say, okay, so I've got this friend James, and he's looks good in a cowboy hat, and he wants to roll out a webinar, or he wants to have live workshops at his studio, or he wants to... What would I tell him to do? What is the marketing? What is the thinking? What is the money logic? What are the things I need to tell someone else? This guy named James, this good-looking designer that everyone loves. What would I tell him? How would I advise others? Right? Instead of being able to do it for yourself, advise others. Because I know, even when you send in burning questions, the mail I get, and thank you so much for your amazing mail and your thank yous, I do it for you. I don't do it for me. I do it because I'm kind of talking to myself in my head, but I do it for you, and that's important. But in your mail and in your letters, generally 95% of the time, you have the answer. You give the answer in your letter. I don't have to do anything. I just have to read it back to you. When I do Skype mentoring or mentoring on the phone with people, all I have to do is listen to them and repeat back to them what they're saying. And generally, it's kind of crazy because they go, oh, yeah, I guess I should do that. I guess I should do what I just said, right? So listen, it's so hard to do for ourselves, but it's so much easier to advise others. To know thyself is difficult. It's a lifelong process. To advise others is easy. To tell other people what to do is easy, right? So listen, sit down with yourself, have a date with yourself, buy yourself a coffee, get a big pad of paper, and write it out. Self, I said, here's your plan. Okay? Burning questions. It wasn't a question, it's just an answer. Oh my God, I'm so good. This is James Victore from the field. There's my ride. It's waiting for me. I will see you guys later. Burning questions. Have a damn opinion. Make work that matters and love something other than yourself. Love something other than your selfie. You guys are awesome. I love you, and I'll talk to you next week. Adios. Okay, gotta go. Hey, come for a ride with me. Bye. And that's how you do it.